All right, guys, so over at NAB, Manfrotto announced a new fluid head. Now, this is not the new fluid head, but before we get into that, I just wanted to talk about the 502A here, because this was the entry-level fluid head for Manfrotto's bridging technology of video fluid heads, and I guess that has to do with the shape and the design of the fluid head. So this is much different than the lower end 701 HDV. So this is the 502, and I actually really like the way this head pans and tilts. It's very fluid, but there is some annoying little quirks about this head. One of them is the ergonomics. The lock for the pan, or for the tilt, is over here. So when you're operating this and your camera's over here, sometimes your camera wants to weigh itself forward or backwards. You have to kind of switch hands and lock it on this side. That's not the case with the 701. It's actually, the lock is on the other side. And then your drag is on this side. So everything's kind of flipped around. And then if you wanted to adjust the pan drag, then you would turn this knob here at the base, which wasn't bad. It's fine. But if you wanted to lock it, the pan lock is actually up in the front here. So this is the pan lock. So as you're operating this fluid head, you'd have to kind of reach around and lock this up, which was not very ergonomic. So there are some weird things about this head, but as far as dialing in the amount of drag and the fluidity that you need, it's really good for that. So you'll get some really smooth shots there. So another thing that could bother some people is when you're working with video rigs. This head is very long. It has a very long sliding plate. Sliding plates aren't always ideal for video rigs and maybe even sliders. So what happens is, in order to get the plate docked into the head, you've got to slide it in and out. Okay, so this is the long plate, the 501 long plate here. And so it just has to slide all the way in. So let me show you what I mean about video rigs not working with sliding plates. All right, so here's an example of a really small video rig, nothing fancy, but you can see it has some front handles and a follow focus over here. Now what happens is, when you have some accessories or handles up front, how do you get this thing to slide in properly? You've got to come all the way back here, but your accessories are already hitting this head. So you can't really get this sliding plate in there. So what most people end up having to do is they have to put another system on top of the fluid head that's going to allow them to dock their video rigs. So sliding plates don't always work out well. So those are some quirks about this 502. Let's take a look at Manfrotto's latest video fluid head in their bridging technology, which I'm really excited about. So let me get that set up and get back to you. All right, guys, so there it is. This is Manfrotto's latest video fluid head here. This is the MVH500. Now, this is the most affordable video fluid head from Manfrotto that is part of their bridging technology series. So as you can see, unlike the 502, which was the cheapest one, there is no tilt lock on the right-hand side here. Your tilt lock is actually on the left-hand side, which is similar to the 701 HDV. The pan lock is now here at the base in the rear rather than on the front like the 502. So the ergonomics on this head is much better. It still probably doesn't have as much fluid drag adjustment as the 502, but this one is way better than the 701 HDV. So if you got to get one of those heads, get this one. In fact, I think the 701 HDV may be discontinued. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I have a feeling about. So anyways, one of the big changes on this head compared to the other ones is the drop-in plate system. Now, the 502 and all the other Manfrotto heads, you got to slide it in from the rear and come up from the front. And again, that doesn't always work with some configurations, especially video rigs. So let me get that video rig and show you that example again. All right, so here's the same video rig. Now this is the plate for the 500, and as you can see, it looks exactly like the 501 PL that you use on every other Manfrotto plate. There is a slight little notch here on the side, but I've used the other plates on this head. So if you have any plate, it's going to work with this head as well. The difference though is that you're not going to slide the plate into the head. You can't do that because there's some safety catches on the front and the rear here, so it's impossible to slide it front to back. You actually have to drop it in place, which is a big bonus, and I'd rather have it that way. So in order to get this plate on here, again, same 501 plate, you're just gonna come in at a slight angle on the left side, so you're gonna tuck that in, and there's a little tab here that when you drop it in, it locks it in place. And that's all you have to do, so you don't have to worry about any of your accessories getting in the way. To release the system, you actually push down on this tab here. So you push this down and then it comes right out. Very simple, very quick. To prevent it from sliding once it's dropped in, you see that it slides, you're just gonna lock this down in place. Now, even if you forget to lock this down and it is sliding, again, there's some catches on the front and the rear, so it'll prevent this whole system from kind of going over the head and falling off. It will stop itself. The only way to take this off again is to release it and come off the top. So very cool, excited about this head. I think it's gonna be a great one for Manfrotto. Again, just a few dollars more than 701 HDV, which I believe may be discontinued. So take a look at this one right here if you guys are interested. Now, it is available in a standard base, a flat base, not in a bowl mount. I'm not sure if they're gonna come out with something like that, probably not. But if you like the feature of leveling your head without having to adjust individual legs, what you could do is get one of these tripods here. This is a 755, and it gives you kind of a half bowl at the column here. So as you can see, I could still raise this center column, but this right here is their little half ball adapter. So if you reach underneath the column, you're gonna loosen something up, and now you can adjust this head, get it quickly leveled, and then just lock it down at the bottom here. You're all set. So this is a great tripod that will be bundled with this head. Take a look at that when that stuff comes out, when it becomes available. This tripod here is available in aluminum and carbon fiber. Again, it's the one with the half ball. This is 755, and this is a new head, the MVH500.